All right, let's get into something that's, frankly, a game changer for so many of us. We're going to talk about the journey from being a people pleaser to becoming a person who has deep, unshakable self-respect. It's about shifting from just being nice to being truly high value.
So let's just start with a really thought-provoking question. I want you to really think about this. Are you a genuinely kind person, or are you just a nice one? They sound similar, but believe me, the difference between them is absolutely massive, and it's really the heart of everything we're going to cover.
So first things first, let's unpack what's often called the nice girl trap. It's this subtle but powerful pattern that so many people fall into, a lot of times without even realizing it. And man, can it be exhausting.
So what does that actually mean? Well, nice girl syndrome isn't really about authentic goodness. It's a habit of self-sacrifice. You're constantly putting what other people need ahead of what you need. And here's the kicker. It's often driven by a deep desire to be liked, to get that external approval. That's the key.
This really sets up a clear fork in the road, you know? There are two very, very different mindsets you can operate from, and they lead to completely different outcomes in your relationships, your career, and just your overall happiness. Let's break them down.
And wow, this table just lays it all out so clearly. You can see the side-by-side comparison across 5 really crucial areas of life. We're talking boundaries, where you get your validation from, how you handle conflict, your availability, and even your dating style. It's like night and day.
Let's zoom in on that first one, because it's a biggie. Boundaries. The default nice setting is to have a really hard time saying no, because you're terrified of upsetting someone. The high-value approach, though, it's about setting very clear boundaries. And then, just as importantly, calmly enforcing them. You understand your time and energy are precious.
And next up, validation. This is huge. Ask yourself, where are you getting your sense of self-worth? Are you constantly hunting for it outside yourself, through social media likes, compliments, someone else telling you you're good enough? Or is it internal? A high-value person already knows their worth. It isn't up for a vote.
Okay, so now that we've laid out these two different paths, let's turn the lens on ourselves for a minute. It's time to do a little self-reflection and figure out where you might be on this spectrum right now.
And to help you do that, I've got 2 super simple but honestly incredibly revealing little diagnostic tests you can use. We're going to call them the resentment test and the criticism test.
Let's start with that first one, the resentment test. Be really honest with yourself here. Do you find yourself often feeling drained, maybe a little used, or even just plain resentful at the end of the day or week?
If you answered yes to that, listen up, because that feeling is a major red flag. Resentment is like an emotional alarm bell. It's a sign that you are consistently giving away more than you actually have. A high-value person avoids this by giving generously when they can, but also by knowing when to walk away from people or situations that drain them dry.
Okay, on to test number 2. Let's talk about criticism. How do you really react when someone gives you negative feedback? Maybe it's from your boss, a friend, or even a random comment online. What's your gut reaction?
For the nice girl, a single piece of criticism can be totally derailing. It can ruin your whole week, make you question everything. But a high-value person treats feedback like data. They analyze it, they ask, is there any truth here I can learn from? If yes, great, they grow. If no, they let it go. Their identity is solid. It can't be shattered by one opinion.
All right, enough diagnosis. Let's talk solutions. Now that we can spot the pattern, we're going to move from theory to actual practice. It's time to build what I call your kind but clear toolkit.
Let's kick things off with a classic scenario at work. Your plate is already completely full and a colleague or your boss asks you to take on one more thing. The old habit would be to just sigh, say yes, and prepare for a late night, right? But here's your new script. This is so powerful. Notice how it's respectful, it's totally professional, and it frames your no in terms of your commitment to doing good work. It's not a rejection of them, it's a statement of your capacity. No long, rambling apology needed. Okay, now let's take it out of the office. You get that last-minute text, hey, what are you up to tonight? You really just want to stay in, but that guilt about saying no starts to creep in. Here's the new way to handle it. This approach is brilliant because it's so warm and positive. But it does 2 things at once. It protects your personal time for that evening, and it sets a gentle expectation for the future. You're teaching people how to make plans with you.
And now for what might be the hardest one of all. What do you do when your reason for saying no is, well, nothing? You don't have another engagement. You just need to recharge. But we feel like we need a good excuse, don't we?
This right here is a game changer. It's honest.
It's confident, and it validates your own need for rest as a legitimate priority. You're not lying or making something up. Prioritizing downtime is the reason. It's complete, and it is more than enough.
So, look, having these scripts is a fantastic start, but they only really have power when they're backed by the right mindset and the right delivery. So let's talk about mastering your agency and really owning these responses.
Here are 3 quick tips to make this all stick. First, you have to stop over-apologizing. Saying "I'm so sorry, but" implies you did something wrong. You didn't. Second, learn to use the power of silence. State your boundary and then just stop talking. Don't feel the need to fill the quiet with justifications. And finally, let your body language match your words. Stand tall, make eye contact. Be confident.
So I want to leave you with this final thought, this little challenge. What is one no you need to say this week? Not to be rude, not to be difficult, but to be truly kind to yourself and to honor your own time and energy. Your journey to reclaiming your agency can start today with that single powerful word.